Listen to me, I don't care where you're sitting right now. I don't care if you're broke, tired, broken-hearted, living in a small room with no money and no clue where life is going. I don't care if your phone screen is cracked, your bank account is empty, and your life feels like it's on pause. I need you to understand something right now. 6 months is enough to completely change your life, not kind of improve it, and not make it slightly better. I'm talking about flipping it upside down so hard that people who knew you a year ago won't even recognize you anymore. And the truth, rich people know this, successful people know this. They know that you don't need 10 years to change, you just need an obsession. You just need 6 ruthless months where you live, breathe, and bleed for the new version of yourself. Obsession over everything means there is no backup plan, no "I'll see how it goes," and no halfway commitment. It's the mindset where you burn the ships, remove the safety net, and force yourself to win because losing is no longer an option. The people who rise to the top are not casual participants in their own life. They are consumed by their mission. They think about it when they wake up, they dream about it when they sleep, and it bleeds into every single action they take. If you are not obsessed, someone else will be, and that person will outwork you, outlast you, and take everything you wanted for yourself. Most people dabble. They treat their goals like hobbies, something they work on when they feel like it. That's why they never break free. The clock is ticking, and you are either putting in deliberate, relentless effort, or you are slowly losing to the competition. Obsession forces you to see every moment as an opportunity to move closer to your goal. When you're obsessed, there is no time to waste scrolling endlessly on your phone, gossiping about other people's lives, or indulging in meaningless entertainment. Every minute has a purpose. Every day is a mission. Every decision is filtered through one question: does this bring me closer or further from my goal? If the answer is further, you cut it. No negotiation, no excuses. The reality is, obsession doesn't feel good at first. It's uncomfortable because it demands sacrifice. You will lose friends who don't understand your drive. You will miss parties, events, and lazy weekends. You will wake up early when everyone else is sleeping, and you will keep going long after they've quit for the day. And while they're relaxing, you will be building something that will make them wish they had done the same. That's the power of obsession. It multiplies effort over time until your results are undeniable. When you're obsessed, failure stops being a fear and becomes fuel. Every setback makes you hungrier. Every no makes you work harder. Every closed door becomes a challenge to find another way in. There is no stopping point because obsession doesn't end when you hit a milestone. It drives you to create new ones. It's not about balance, it's about dominance. Balance is for people who want average results. If you want extraordinary results in 6 months, you have to tip the scale entirely toward your mission. That means cutting everything that doesn't matter, even if it's comfortable or fun in the moment. Obsession forces you to get laser focused. You stop chasing 10 things and put all your energy into 1 or 2 that truly matter. And when you do that, you become unstoppable because all of your time, energy, and resources are pointed in the same direction. People will tell you to slow down, to enjoy life. What they really mean is they want you to stay at their level so they feel better about themselves. Ignore them. The truth is, the most fulfilled people in the world are not the ones who dabble. They're the ones who go all in, who build something that matters, who push themselves to limits most will never know. Obsession changes you. It forces you to grow, to adapt, to evolve into someone sharper, smarter, and stronger than you've ever been. It teaches you resilience, because when you're all in, quitting is no longer an option. It teaches you creativity, because when you're obsessed, you find solutions where others see walls. It teaches you self-respect because you prove to yourself that you can set a target and fight for it with everything you've got. In 6 months of obsession, you can change your income, your body, your skills, your relationships, and your entire self-image. But only if you commit without hesitation. You have to stop thinking like everyone else. They look for comfort, you look for progress. They chase entertainment, you chase mastery. They spend their nights distracted, you spend yours building. That's the separation. 6 months from now, the people who took the easy road will still be wishing for change. You will have created it. Not because you were lucky, not because you were more talented, but because you were obsessed enough to do what they wouldn't. And once you taste the results of that obsession, you will never go back to living like the rest of them. You will see what's possible when you stop treating your dreams like hobbies and start treating them like oxygen, something you cannot live without. And when you get there, when you stand on the other side of 6 months of relentless focus, you'll realize it wasn't even about the goal anymore. It was about becoming the kind of person who refuses to settle for anything less than everything they set their mind to. That's the power of obsession over everything. Cut ruthlessly. Grow rapidly means you stop pretending you can carry everything and everyone with you while trying to climb. You can't. Every ounce of energy you give to dead weight is energy stolen from your growth. Most people know exactly what's holding them back, but they lie to themselves because cutting things away feels painful. They keep the toxic friend because they've known them for years. They keep the bad habit because it's comforting. They keep the time-wasting activity because it feels easier than facing the truth. That's why they stay stuck for years. Growth is violent to your old life. It doesn't happen politely. It demands sacrifice, and it starts with cutting. You don't negotiate with what's killing your potential. You remove it entirely. When you cut ruthlessly, you send a message to yourself and the world that you're serious. You no longer allow mediocrity to linger in your space. That might mean deleting social media accounts that steal hours of your day. It might mean walking away from people you've outgrown, even if it leaves you lonely for a while. It might mean ending habits that feel good in the moment, but keep you broke, unhealthy, or unfulfilled. Cutting is not about being cold, it's about survival. You cannot build the life you want while still feeding the things that destroy it. The reason most people fear cutting is because it feels like loss. They imagine the gap that will be left when they walk away from someone or something, and they panic. But the truth is, the gap is exactly what you need. That space is where growth happens. When you stop pouring into people who drain you, you finally have energy to invest in people who lift you. When you stop wasting hours on mindless distractions, you suddenly have time to learn, create, and build. The faster you cut, the faster you grow. Every day you delay is another day you stay exactly where you are. Ruthless cutting also forces clarity. You begin to see what truly matters and what never did. You stop lying to yourself about balance and start being honest about priorities. If something doesn't move you closer to your goal, it goes. No debate, no bargaining. The people who grow the fastest are not the ones who add the most. They are the ones who subtract the most. They strip life down to the essentials, and then they go all in on those essentials until their results are undeniable. Growth feels slow when you're dragging extra weight. Imagine trying to run a race with a backpack full of rocks. You might make progress, but it's exhausting and painfully slow. Now imagine dropping that backpack. Suddenly, you're lighter, faster, and free. That's what ruthless cutting does. It removes the drag so you can finally move at the speed you're capable of. Some people will hate you for cutting them out. They'll call you selfish. They'll say you've changed. Good. Change is the whole point. You are not here to live at someone else's pace. You are not here to stay small so other people feel comfortable. You are here to evolve, to expand, to build something so powerful that the old version of you couldn't even imagine it. That can't happen if you keep saying yes to everything and everyone. Cutting ruthlessly also applies to your own behavior. Sometimes the dead weight is not a person, it's you. It's the version of you that sleeps in, that eats garbage, that procrastinates, that says, "I'll do it tomorrow." That version of you has to die if you want to grow. You can't carry your excuses and your dreams at the same time. One has to go. When you make the cut, growth begins almost immediately. It might not be visible right away, but it's happening. Your energy starts coming back. Your focus sharpens, your confidence grows because you finally feel in control, and the results follow faster than you expect. You will look back and wonder why you didn't do it sooner. You'll realize that most of what you were holding on to was not giving you anything in return. In 6 months of ruthless cutting, you can rebuild your entire life. You can clear out the people, habits, and environments that have been holding you hostage for years. You can create space for opportunities that you couldn't even see before because you were too cluttered with nonsense. But you have to be brave enough to let go, even when it's uncomfortable. Growth is not about doing more, it's about doing less, but doing it with full force. The person who tries to do 10 things at once grows slower than the one who chooses 3 and attacks them without mercy. Cutting ruthlessly is how you get to those 3. And when you do, you move so fast that people think you've found some secret shortcut. But the secret is simple. You stopped wasting time, and you stopped feeding things that didn't deserve you. At the end of the day, ruthless cutting is an act of self-respect. It's you deciding that your future matters more than your comfort. It's you saying, I will not let anything, not even my own bad habits, rob me of what I'm capable of. And when you live like that, when you're willing to drop everything that doesn't serve your mission, growth stops being slow and starts being explosive. 6 months from now, you can either be weighed down by the same things holding you back today, or you can be living lighter, faster, and freer than you've ever felt. The difference will be whether you were brave enough to cut. Pain is the path to power because nothing worth having is born in comfort. Every person you admire, every individual who commands respect, every success story you look up to, behind all of it is pain. Not the shallow inconvenience that most people whine about, but deep, soul-shaking pain that forces growth. Pain strips you of illusions. It shows you exactly who you are without filters or excuses. When life crushes you, when your back is against the wall, when you feel like everything is falling apart, that is where power is built. Most people run from pain. They avoid it like it's a disease, not realizing it's the very medicine they need. They seek comfort, distraction, and ease, and that's why they stay weak. Pain is the gym for your character. Just like muscles grow when you tear them and put them under stress, your mind, spirit, and discipline grow when life tears you apart. If you want to be powerful, you can't just survive pain. You have to embrace it, even chase it. Every uncomfortable situation you avoid is a missed opportunity to get stronger. The rich, the powerful, the influential, they have all learned to endure pain longer than others can tolerate. That endurance becomes their advantage because while the average person taps out at the first sign of discomfort, they keep going until they break through. The truth is, pain is the greatest teacher you will ever have. Success can't teach you much because when you're winning, you're celebrating, but pain forces you to look inward, to analyze, to adapt. It demands that you improve or be crushed. If you've ever been betrayed, humiliated, broke, rejected, or doubted, you've been given tools for power. But tools only work if you use them. Most people turn their pain into resentment. The powerful turn it into fuel. Pain is proof you're in the arena. If you're not feeling any pain, you're not playing the game at a level that matters. You're sitting on the sidelines watching others take hits and move forward. Real growth happens when you step into challenges so big they scare you, when you push yourself so far out of your comfort zone that failure feels possible every day. That constant exposure to pressure hardens you. It builds resilience so strong that future problems start to feel light in comparison. You need to stop seeing pain as a punishment and start seeing it as the price of admission for the life you want. You want financial freedom. You will endure long nights, failed ventures, and rejection. You want a strong body. You will endure soreness, discipline, and exhaustion. You want respect. You will endure criticism, judgment, and constant testing. Every dream you have is sitting on the other side of a wall of pain, and the only way through is to walk straight into it. The beauty of pain is that it changes you in ways comfort never will. It forces you to level up mentally because weak thoughts can't survive in hard situations. It forces you to level up emotionally because sensitivity to every setback will crush you. It forces you to level up physically because you can't carry a heavy load with a weak body. Pain is a forge, and you are the steel. Every hardship is a hammer strike that makes you stronger, sharper, and more unbreakable. Most people think avoiding pain will keep them safe, but the truth is, it just makes them fragile. When life inevitably throws something hard at them, they shatter. The ones who have walked through pain repeatedly don't break. They bend, adapt, and keep moving. 6 months of intentionally facing and overcoming pain will put you ahead of people who have spent 6 years avoiding it. The more pain you conquer, the less fear you have. Fear exists because you're afraid of discomfort. Once you've been through enough, you stop fearing it. You start to welcome it because you know what's on the other side. You stop asking, what if it's too hard, and start saying, make it harder, I can handle it. That's when you become truly dangerous, because there's nothing the world can throw at you that you can't take. Pain also builds gratitude. When you've known hunger, you appreciate food. When you've known loneliness, you value real connection. When you've known struggle, you respect success. Without pain, you don't have perspective, and without perspective, you never truly value what you achieve. Pain makes the reward sweeter because you've paid for it with pieces of yourself. If you want to transform in 6 months, you need to stop hiding from pain and start seeking it. Put yourself in situations that scare you. Push yourself in the gym until your body screams. Take on work that forces you to grow. Have hard conversations instead of avoiding them. Step into environments where you're the smallest player and fight to earn your place. Every ounce of pain you take willingly now will be power you carry forever. Pain is not your enemy. It is your rite of passage. Every time you endure it, you cross into a new level of yourself. 6 months from now, the version of you who feared pain will be gone. In their place will be someone unshakable, someone who has been tested and proven, and that kind of power can't be faked. It can't be bought. It can only be earned through the path no one wants to walk. So the next time pain comes, don't flinch, don't run, lean into it, smile, because you know what it means. It means you're in the process of becoming powerful. It means you're paying the price for a life others will never touch. And when you come out on the other side, stronger, sharper, and ready for anything, you'll realize that every drop of pain was worth it. Because pain, when embraced, is not just part of the journey. It is the very road to the life you've been chasing. Environment shapes the winner because no matter how strong you think your willpower is, you will always be influenced by the space you live in and the people you surround yourself with. Your environment is not neutral. It's either pushing you forward or pulling you down, and most people don't even realize how much it controls them. You can be the most disciplined person in the world, but if every day you're surrounded by laziness, negativity, and small thinking, it will eventually seep into you. That's why winners are deliberate about where they are and who they allow near them. They don't leave it to chance. They curate their surroundings like a weapon because they know that what they see, hear, and feel daily becomes who they are. Think about it. If you're around people who skip workouts, waste time, complain about money, and blame others for their failures, what do you think will happen to you over time? Even if you don't notice it right away, their habits will infect you. You'll start lowering your standards without even realizing it. You'll stop pushing as hard because no one around you is pushing, but flip that environment and everything changes. If you spend 6 months around people who train hard, work relentlessly, and refuse to make excuses, you will be forced to rise to their level or get left behind. That's the hidden power of environment. It shapes your standards before you even open your mouth. Winners understand this and use it as leverage. They put themselves in rooms where they are the smallest player because that forces growth. They choose conversations that stretch their thinking instead of drain it. They cut off negative people not because they're heartless, but because they know the cost of keeping them around. Energy is contagious, and if you allow the wrong energy to linger in your environment, it will infect your mindset and poison your progress. Your environment is not just people, it's everything around you. The room you wake up in, the desk you work at, the content you consume, the city you live in. If your space is messy, cluttered, and unorganized, your mind will feel the same. If your social media feed is filled with gossip, outrage, and nonsense, your thoughts will be filled with it too. Winners audit their environment constantly. They design it so that it forces them towards success, even on the days they feel weak. For example, if you want to get in shape, you keep your kitchen stocked with clean food and remove the junk. If you want to make money, you fill your bookshelves, your phone, and your conversations with business, strategy, and hive, you ideas. If you want confidence, you spend time around confident people and in places where you're required to carry yourself well. You eliminate the option to backslide by making your environment hostile to weakness. The average person tries to use willpower to fight against a toxic environment. That's a losing battle. Willpower is limited. It runs out. Environment is constant. It works 24/7, whether you're paying attention or not. That's why changing your environment can transform you faster than anything else. You don't have to fight for discipline when everything around you reinforces it. 6 months in a winning environment will give you more growth than years spent trying to grind it out in a place that keeps you small. But here's the hard part. Changing your environment often means leaving people, places, and habits you've known for years. It means breaking away from the comfort of familiarity and stepping into rooms where you feel exposed, uncomfortable, maybe even intimidated. That's exactly why it works. Comfort is the enemy of growth, and your environment is the biggest source of comfort you have. Winners destroy that comfort on purpose because they know it's keeping them average. You need to start seeing your environment as a silent coach. Every person, object, and sound around you is either training you to win or training you to lose. Look at your life and ask, does this place make me sharper? Do these people make me better? Do my daily surroundings remind me of my goals or distract me from them? If the answer is no, you change it fast. You move cities if you have to. You drop friendships if you have to. You delete apps, throw out clothes, rearrange your space. Whatever it takes to make your environment serve your mission instead of sabotage it. When you lock yourself into a winning environment, something incredible happens. You start to adapt naturally. Without thinking, you wake up earlier because everyone around you does. You work harder because it's normal in your circle. You eat better because junk food feels out of place. Your new normal becomes excellence, and excellence stops feeling like effort. It becomes your baseline. That's why winners guard their environment like a treasure. They know how fragile progress is in the wrong setting. 1 month around the wrong people can undo 6 months of growth. One toxic relationship can drain the energy you need for your mission. One comfort, heavy space can kill your hunger to push harder. They protect their surroundings because they know it's not just where they live, it's what they become. 6 months in the right environment can change everything. It can turn a procrastinator into a machine. It can turn insecurity into confidence. It can turn a broke mindset into a wealth mindset. But you have to choose it intentionally. You have to be willing to walk away from the old world you've been living in, even if it means stepping into the unknown. Because the truth is, you're not just a product of your choices. You're a product of the environment that shapes those choices. If you want to be a winner, you can't live in a losing environment, period. You either change your surroundings or your surroundings will change you. There's no middle ground, and when you understand that, you stop taking it lightly. You stop tolerating anything in your space that doesn't match the future you're building. You start creating a world around you where success is the only option. And when you do that, winning stops being something you have to fight for. It becomes the only thing you know how to do. Momentum is the real magic because once you get it, winning becomes effortless. The hardest part of any journey is the start, pushing yourself from a dead stop into action. At the beginning, everything feels heavy. Every habit you try to build feels like a chore. Every step forward feels slow. The results barely show, and your mind whispers, maybe this isn't worth it. That's where most people quit. They don't realize that success isn't built in one giant leap, it's built in tiny, consistent steps that gather speed over time. Momentum turns those steps into a sprint, and once you're sprinting, the game changes forever. Think of momentum like pushing a car. At first, it barely moves. Every ounce of strength you have goes into getting the wheels to turn even a little. But once it's rolling, you can push it faster and faster with less effort. That's exactly how building a business, transforming your body, or changing your life works. In the beginning, the effort feels massive compared to the progress. But if you keep pushing, day after day, week after week, suddenly things start moving on their own. You stop forcing motivation because the habit carries you. That's when the magic kicks in. Momentum is the reason the rich get richer, the fit get fitter, and the confident get more confident. Once you're winning, opportunities start coming to you. People start noticing you. The doors that were once locked start swinging open because you've built a track record of action and results. This is why it's dangerous to stop. You're not just losing one day of work, you're breaking the rhythm that's carrying you forward. Winners protect their momentum like their life depends on it, because in many ways it does. The secret to momentum is not intensity, it's consistency. Most people think they need to go all out for a week and then they burn out. That's not how you build magic. You build it by showing up every single day, even on the days you don't feel like it. You build it when you push through boredom, fatigue, and doubt. You build it when you stack win after win until your brain starts to expect success as the norm. That's when you stop relying on motivation. You've trained yourself to move automatically. Momentum also compounds your results. The more you work, the more skills you gain, and the more efficient you become. At first, tasks that took you hours will take you minutes. Decisions that once stressed you will become instinctive. You'll find yourself completing in 1 week what used to take you a month. That's not because you suddenly got better. It's because momentum has sharpened your focus, streamlined your process, and eliminated hesitation. The danger is that momentum works both ways. Just as positive actions build positive momentum, laziness and procrastination build negative momentum. Skip the gym once, it's easy to go back. Skip it 3 times, you're already building a habit of skipping. Stop working on your business for a week, and suddenly restarting feels like climbing a mountain. Negative momentum will drag you backwards faster than you think, which is why you have to kill it the second it starts. 6 months of pure momentum can do more for you than years of scattered effort. If you decide today that you're going to stack wins every single day for half a year, by the end of it, you'll barely recognize yourself. The goals that felt impossible will feel small. The habits that once felt like a fight will feel natural. The life you once dreamed of will be the life you live. That's the real magic. It doesn't just get you results, it rewires your identity. You stop being someone who tries, and you become someone who simply does. The key to building momentum is lowering the friction. Make it as easy as possible to take action. If you want to work out, have your clothes ready the night before. If you want to read, keep the book in your bag. If you want to make money, start the day with the hardest task before distractions creep in. The easier it is to start, the harder it is to stop, and starting is everything. Momentum thrives on clarity. You can't build it if you don't know where you're going. You need a clear goal and a clear process, so every action you take adds to the push. Random effort builds random results. Focused effort builds unstoppable motion. That's why winners are obsessive about their vision. They make sure every move they make is aimed at the same target. Once you feel momentum, you'll never want to lose it. It's addictive in the best way. You wake up excited to keep the streak alive. You push yourself not because you have to, but because you don't want to break what you've built. And when people ask you how you did it, they won't understand that it wasn't one big breakthrough. It was hundreds of small, boring, consistent actions stacked on top of each other until they exploded into results. The truth is, most people will never experience real momentum because they quit too early. They'll push for a few weeks, not see massive results, and stop. They don't realize that the magic happens after the point where most people give up. If you can outlast that dead zone, the slow, frustrating phase where progress is invisible, you'll break into a level where everything starts clicking. That's where the compounding effect takes over, and you start achieving more in a month than you used to in a year. 6 months of unbroken momentum is enough to transform your finances, your body, your skills, and your mindset completely. But it requires one thing above all: never stopping, not for one day, not for one excuse. You keep pushing no matter what, because every day you keep the wheels turning, you're closer to the point where they start spinning on their own. And when that happens, when the magic of momentum takes over, you'll look back and realize you're not even the same person who started. You're sharper, faster, stronger, more disciplined. You're living proof that once you get the ball rolling, nothing can stop it, except you. 6 months from now, you're going to arrive somewhere. The question is, Will you arrive in the same place you are now, or will you arrive unrecognizable to the person you once were? The calendar will move forward whether you act or not. Time is the only currency you can never get back, and every day you waste is a day you will never see again. If you want to know how the wealthy, the powerful, the successful build their lives, it's not magic, it's not luck, it's momentum fueled by obsession, clarity, and relentless execution. They don't dabble. They don't try. They decide, they commit, and they keep moving forward when the rest of the world slows down. You think they're gifted? No. They built themselves. They took 6 months and squeezed everything out of it. 6 months of early mornings, disciplined work, uncomfortable conversations, ruthless focus. They cut out the noise. They distanced themselves from weakness. They refused to negotiate with excuses. And the beauty is, you can do the same. Right now, you can flip the switch. You can stop tolerating the slow death of your potential. You can decide that every day from this point on is a brick laid in the foundation of a new life. You don't need 10 years. You don't even need a year. 6 months of raw, unapologetic commitment will make you dangerous. But here's the catch. Those 6 months won't feel glamorous while you're living them. You'll be tired. You'll be tempted. Your friends will still be partying while you're grinding. You'll have moments where you question yourself. That's when you remind yourself, this is the price. This is the sacrifice. This is the ticket to the life you said you wanted. 6 months from now, you can have a different body, a different bank account, a different level of influence, and a different sense of self-respect. Or you can have the same complaints, the same problems, the same one day I'll start story you've been telling for years. The rich, the powerful, the relentless, they live by one rule: momentum never stops. You start and you keep going, no matter how small the step. Because small steps compound into massive results, and massive results turn you into someone unstoppable. So here's your choice. Walk out of here today and let life keep happening to you, or draw the line. Mark this as the day you refuse to keep living at half speed. 6 months from now, the world could be looking at you differently. You could be looking at yourself differently, but it starts with one decision right now, to go all in, not halfway, not when you feel ready, not when life is convenient, right now. Because if you give me 6 months of pure, unbreakable discipline, I promise you, your future self will thank you for the rest of your life. Thanks for watching this video.